right, so we're gonna call this to order and start with the agenda items, volunteer meeting note taker.
It's me, I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get on the Wi-Fi so I can do it.
Okay, we'll give you a moment.
Sorry.
Well, actually, I mean, while you're doing that, we can go ahead and move to our applicants meet and greet today. So we have several new people. I know the folks that are part of the committee have already sent the information and hopefully had a chance to review. So we will go around and let's start with Sloan, our youth member first.
Am I just
Anything you would like to say, a little quick introduction?
Nothing much, just I don't know, she's my mom.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Uncle Jamie, so
Yeah.
You know some.
yeah. So
Yeah.
where do you go to school? How old are you? That's something.
I'm freshman in Canandaigua, I'm 15.
Very good.
I didn't want to be a part of this. I'm excited to see your letter of interest. All right, so. Brittany, I'm going to go with the focus. So Melissa, if you want to go ahead.
My name's Melissa. I live here in Canandaigua, obviously. We just moved here about a year ago. We used to travel a lot. And we landed here in Canandaigua and I couldn't be happier. We love the community so far. Our 5-year-old daughter loves all the parks. We hike a lot. So I'm happy to be a part of it.
Where'd you move here from?
So we traveled in an RV for 3 years.
Oh, cool.
And originally we were in Ogden. Great community also, but we love it here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Josh?
No. Hey, I'm Josh Colton. I'm a town resident. My wife and my family, my 3 kids have been here almost 5 years. I just, really, I sent a letter of interest into this because I have a passion for Parks and Rec, but I decided never to do that in my profession. It's sort of one of those hindsight things. I wish I did a little more. So opportunity presents itself, and here I am.
Nice. Welcome. Thank you. And let's see, online. Brittany, are you online? Can you hear us? Oh, sorry about that, Brittany. I think you're on that. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Sorry.
All right, sorry about that. I didn't notice I didn't hit it. I thought I was all set. So we did a couple other introductions here, but yeah, so if you want to just take a moment to introduce yourself here to the group.
Yeah, of course. Hi, I'm Brittany Garalia. I'm interested in joining the Parks and Recreation Committee. I met with Greg today and went over a little bit of my experience. I've got some direct experience when I was in high school into college. I worked for Parks and Recreation in Hornell, New York, where I'm from, and I was a lifeguard for a little while, and then I was a kind of a co-supervisor of the Parks and Recreation department. So we were in charge of creating activities for kids at different parks around our town. We had green boxes, which were just a big box full of craft stuff, games, board games, sports stuff. And then we kind of dropped off supplies weekly for that. And then we also were in charge of the lifeguards at the pool. So I really understand the importance of having a strong Parks and Recreation department, providing a safe, free, recreational place to hang out for kids and adults too, but it was mainly a main spot for kids. And I moved to Canandaigua in like 2017, so I've been here for a little while. And I've worked at the Wood Library, and I've also worked at the YMCA here in town. So I really like to be at these central hubs of where things are. Where currently I'm working at FLCC in the library. So yeah, I've done some event planning here, so I have experience with budgeting, especially budgeting events without a lot of money. So when I worked at the Y, I worked in the after-school program, and I worked in preschool, and I worked in, I did swim lessons for a while. I was a swim coach for a little while, so I've kind of dipped my toes in a lot of different areas and just really miss being a part of those main hubs. Like I was saying, I mean, FLCC is a main hub in a way, but I kind of miss seeing more people and getting involved with the town. So I thought this would be a great way to get back involved in the world. So yeah, nice to meet you all.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you. Very good. All right, I don't know if the longer standing members want to just introduce you real quick to them.
Stephanie Kills, I've been on the committee, I think this is my 7th year, going to my 7th year.
Hi.
Lifelong Canandaigua resident, and I retired from the National Honor Society, was the president for New York State, and I'm enjoying my retirement. Skiing, it's cold.
No skier.
I'll go next. Jamie Anderson. I'm a teacher here in Canandaigua Middle School. This is, I think, my 2nd year on the committee, 3rd year. Involved with all the parks. I live out in Cheshire, so I'm along the land trust. I'm also down in Pierce Park quite often, and I was a camp counselor at Baker and down at Ononda. So the parks are a huge part of my upbringing here in Canandaigua.
Mhm.
And happy to be here with what look to be some great candidates for our openings, which we might fill soon, which would be great. I talked to Randy Groot, who's not here, who I don't know if he's going to be staying with us. So
No, I did get an email from Randy. He is going to not be staying with us. He's at his 7 years, and we were saying that this would be a good time with the amount of recruits that we're in good hands, and this would be a good time for him to transition. So.
and I would agree. So welcome. If you guys are going to be involved, it's great to have people who are young, looking to have families in the area and are looking to give back. So it's great to have the interest.
I am Debbie Gisselson, so I did not grow up here, but I have been here 17 years, something like that. And raising 3 kids in the area and been using all the parks. And I've been on the committee 4 or 5 years. I don't know. We're gonna look at Greg like what's I don't even know. So yeah, I don't know, just excited. I don't have as good a speech as Jamie.
I'm Dan Nampton. I'm going into my 7th year on this committee. Born and raised in the Finger Lakes. I've been living in Canandaigua for 35 years. Joined the Parks Committee. I think we've accomplished a lot of good things. A lot more to do.
Very true. And we got some special guests today. I'll let Don Carter go first. So.
We'll see over the course of time how special the guests are, but Don Cotter, I'm newly elected supervisor for the town of Canandaigua. Big outdoorsy guy. I lived here for 26 years. Big Ononda person. I'm hoping that I'll be an asset to Greg and the team to help push the parks forward. To Dan's point, one of the reasons why Canandaigua is so great is because the parks and all the work that's been done so far. But I'm a big believer of saying, okay, today's ground zero. How can we get even better? Because then we have a lot of stuff already in the works to try to keep moving the parks forward, because it truly is one of the best parts of the town of Canandaigua is our park system. So I hope to be an active part of what you guys are doing. So
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
And kind of my first slide, I usually do an Ononda Park Uplands project with our next special guest here is Jim Fletcher. He's a highway supervisor, and he's going to be talking to some of the updates for us and a couple things that he wanted to bring to the committee. So.
Right. So those of you who know me, I'm Jim Fletcher. I'm the highway water superintendent at the town for 23 years and 17 years as selected highway superintendent. We've been working on that. Ononda Park, and I wanted to discuss with the big problem. Currently, our road is up to here, and there's a pavilion down here. This is the one that's existing currently. And our issue, or our, want to bring your attention is, it's a very steep slope. It's about 2-on-1 slope, so it's fairly steep. And it's coming right to the slab of this concrete pavilion. I'm not looking for an answer, I'm looking for a discussion to get maybe direction from the park committee. I feel that it's in the best interest to remove this pavilion, relocate it, build it someplace else, so we can pull this slope farther out. So when you're trying to traverse this hill, you're not, one, slipping and falling on your butt, or two, if you're not as agile and age like myself with bad knees, it's kind of tough to get up and down. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention, that would be something I like to get your opinion on and see which direction I really would like to go with this. Is what I was here to talk to you guys about.
Jim, you said that pavilion exists already.
Yeah.
So historically, what has that pavilion been used for? For people who've been on the committee for a while, is it an active pavilion? Is it?
I'm having trouble
I know,
orienting
this
myself
Okay,
real quick. Where's Norm?
there's the new road coming out.
Okay, there's a new road.
That comes up, this see the circle
Yeah,
that you come around,
where's the gully?
the gully's over here. It's your-
Okay, yeah, so that's the sled hill?
This is,
Sled hill.
Yeah,
the sled hill's here, and the bathhouse isn't shown on here, but that's over here.
So that slope is new graded,
This is
newly graded area?
slope.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the dark lines represent the area that will be graded, and the fine lines are existing contours. So by building this up, we need to slope this out. And I'm looking not only for walking, but Greg's team is trying to mow. It could become difficult if you went across it. Water will sheet flow down to this. If you got heavy rain, it could come across it. It's just not an ideal location. Maybe it's something discussed, maybe we bring it up here someplace, or perhaps down here someplace. You already have one as it is now down here. Oh, Adelsa? Yeah, that one there, there's a one currently down here now.
The hardest part about the pavilion in question, I think, is getting your vehicle,
Oh,
because it is way out there. I brought a club out there once and we had to drive up to it, and it was challenging just to drop a couple items off.
It is, and then if you were to use the parking here to get to it, it's again.
You'd have to put
like
stairs.
steep.
Yeah,
So to get up and down the hillside. So that was a question I wanted to bring to you folks, is have a discussion and give some sort of direction, by April.
personally, I think that pavilion's rarely used. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone,
think
unless
just
it was
because-
middle of the summer.
right, because it is
off to the side, yeah.
hard to.
The YMCA, actually, that's the one they used for the archery last year, or is that the?
Cause it's so remote.
Well,
It's like arrows.
it's down here. They use a
Not
low
worried
one
about
because
it.
you can walk to that. Okay, that one, no. So,
What's the construction? Is it post structure? The sitting on a slab?
4x4s with
Okay.
pre-made manufactured trusses.
And sitting on a slab?
Yeah.
So to move it, couldn't move it really, or could you?
You could take the time to disassemble it.
Yeah.
It's aged well.
Yeah.
So.
If I remember right, yeah.
I know, it's cute.
Well, it's right along the edge of the forest too, so like, isn't that where the path from the gully kind of comes up and wraps in there?
That would be down a little bit closer. to
Oh,
here.
okay.
There's
So-
here's your existing path now that comes up to that lower.
So it's even higher.
Really, this was even
Yeah,
up here,
I think it's gotta go.
all the way where, again, it's not. I would suggest talking to the clerk's office to see how much it's ready.
Yeah.
Get an idea.
And I think
They
by
will give you
removing it,
information.
wouldn't that increase the sledding? By getting that out of there, wouldn't you be able to sled that hill?
Yeah, you could definitely sled this hill by removing this, by.
Make for even a better,
It could, yeah, it would be as steep, and we would actually probably bring the same grade across. that hold up these 3 cabins across here, so it's not
Right,
like that.
I like it.
Because we could use some areas to lose some fill out there from the road cut, so.
So
This was cut quite a bit to get this to grade.
So that's a double benefit there. You could
We could reuse the fill on some.
makes sense.
I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
Even if it does get used in the summer once in a while. You could talk about putting a better pavilion in a more
Yeah,
convenient place.
Accessible.
is there another spot that looks like it would work?
Well, perhaps, so when you, anyway, I can't see it, but this is where the new leach field's gonna go. So your sledding hill comes down through here.
I'm gonna hold it so you can hold it.
How's that? This is our new septic field here, and over here is King Hall. The new bathhouse, so. You could potentially put it down here. Near this parking lot. So it's,
The new park.
there's no
Yeah.
parking lot here. So,
I think that would be used quite
Right.
often. Parties
yeah, I
and
think
things.
that would help, be
You
closer.
can
to
park,
people.
unload and.
No doubt.
So parking
Yeah.
lot to use for the.
Easier for people on field trips.
You mentioned putting a bandstand down there too at some point.
Yeah, the Randy Group Memorial Bandstand.
No, more-
Does he have to be
yeah.
on it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to.
Someone had mentioned a good spot at the very top of that above the new cabins, the great view right before you go up into the trail.
Yeah.
And said, oh, it's be a great place for a pavilion, so. I wish we could, reuse it, but
There's the pavilion now, and the bathhouse is over here, is that existing bathhouse still on. So somewhere here or here, the pavilion,
Mhm.
which would be near this pavilion. They could share this parking lot to use both of them. So suggestion for us. But if you get something that we could take back to Don, so we could discuss it, at Public Works about
Mhm.
why it should go from the Parks Committee's recommendation. So town board's aware of it, so in case someone asks the town board why should take the pavilion. The reason was these reasons here. Okay,
So you want something official by April, you said?
yeah, I would like to have something from the
Yeah.
Parks Committee, so we can take it
Okay.
back to Public Works, so we can discuss it, and bring it to the town board, so they're. Put their blessing on it so that they're aware, all board members are aware of what's going on. Still get questions.
good.
Well, I think we're all in favor of removal.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree, Dan?
It's-
Since
And I think one of the things coming out the last year is we wanna enhance our winter usage of our parks. And I think that would really lend itself to be a really nice
Safe
spot to
spot.
park, safe spot to sled. And really enhance that usage.
You were adding, there's more additional parking at King Hall. Additional parking, up in the hill,
Yeah.
and there'll be additional parking at the top of the hill. Because we're putting in that hill for sun. They'll add additional parking. So,
Well, I just, my 2 cents, I like the idea that if it's gonna come down, to actually think about, to your point, okay, what benefit can come out of it? Because we know we lose something, we lose a pavilion that was used at least at some point or whatever. But the sledding aspect of it,
Mhm.
you know, if we can actually be thinking about it, so that way, when you do whatever you're gonna do up there, you're thinking to yourself, hey, people no longer have to walk down this thing to the pavilion, but how can we make like an awesome sledding hill,
Yeah.
right? To actually not just say, well, we're gonna end up with a hill and people will probably sled on it, but actually say, you know,
Design.
I don't know anything about how to make the best sledding hill, but actually actively, proactively say,
Joe.
you know, what. Exactly.
Mini
Right, Right, but actually to make it like, kind of.
An attraction, like a winter, it already is an awesome sledding hill, but it would be an attraction for people to come in from all over.
And I will add to this committee, I've just had some people asking about sledding, is it being considered in the plans? And I said, yes, but you know, this could be even a potential for an enhancement. So folks are concerned about the sledding hill, so.
Yeah.
And Karen's smiling right now. She was all about doing winter things.
Yeah, yeah. And special events is looking to start a winter special event next year, so, you know.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
And your fill issue, you know, getting rid of fill.
Yes, saves time.
Yeah, you can grade that right out and really make so the water doesn't run off as fast, but we can.
Well, it would definitely sheet flow downhill, but it would be as steep for the sliders for people trying to climb that up the hill.
And if that's the one I'm thinking, my kids, you know, when I take them, they use that right next to it, but what it does is it's like real steep and then it
Yeah.
flattens out and then it goes down. So it would be nice to have it up higher and graded and come down and.
Questions, not anything else?
Well, thank you for bringing it up.
Thank you for coming, Jim.
Have any?
Thank you.
I guess.
Greg, I don't think we approved the minutes from,
Oh, sorry. yeah.
I just wanted to pull it.
Yeah, so review and approve minutes. I did have extra copies for those who didn't get them. Was there any questions, concerns? So all in favor, approve?
Approved.
Yep. Second, so, all right. Good, sorry about that. Thank you.
No, I just wanted,
Keeping me on task. It's good. Always able to multitask as well. All right, so as far as the meet and greet, I think everybody had it, but so it's up to you. I'll say at this point, if you want to stay and be a part of it, or if you just wanted to do a meet and greet and go, great. So certainly, get us started. Are you okay online, Britt? I know you're working, so don't.
If it's okay, I might have to step away to get back to the student worker, but it was really nice sitting in on just the little couple minutes that I had here. And I think that Greg mentioned everyone gets my little letter that I wrote, my little letter of interest. So thanks for considering me and thanks for letting me sit down on this.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thanks for hopping
thank you.
on. I know
Yeah.
it was tough for you, but we really appreciate it.
No, thank you. And thanks for having me, guys. Thank you. Take care. See you soon, maybe. Bye-bye.
By the way, Greg, I wasn't waving at you.
I know. Forget, I'm moving over here. Okay, so we'll move on past Jim Fletcher, so we'll move on to the update on my slides and hopefully give you some stuff. So one of the highlights that we've been working on, we're gonna be sending some stuff to Don here. We're doing an equipment update. A lot of our parks equipment was very outdated. These particular pieces of equipment were like 2012, 2013. Just kind of beat up, and actually Jim Fletcher and I have been talking about how to best keep our equipment operational, because his team fixes it for us. And so we're gonna try to get a lot of our equipment to maybe like a 5-year window, so that way we can sell it and still have a good resale value. And then, you know, there's warranty and separate stuff, so that we won't have to do as much work. Or when we have really old stuff, it's beat up, it's broken, costs us a lot of money. So it's gonna take a couple years to do that, but we started this year. And so this was actually a product of this summer when I was doing the budget, but we're about to send it to the February meeting with probably a lot of Jim's stuff to hopefully move forward on those approved budget items. So we're pretty excited about that. The team is really happy. Non-park projects. So I think I mentioned it the last one. So the company store is we're looking at extending that contract and bringing food and a store to Ananda. Very excited. I put that in a proposal when I was hired, and they asked me, what are some things you would like to see? And that was 2 of the items on there. We weren't sure how to do it and how to pull it off well, but with us magically coming in contact with a company store for Motion Junction, who better and kind of vested in the location there to partner with. And You know, it's been tremendous to work with, and I think it's gonna be a great service. And they're gonna do a really good job, so they're looking at Babcock to see whether that we can use that. The reason we proposed Babcock, there were no rentals for Babcock last year. It's not being utilized. It's not because of the gate, people don't want to, they pack all their stuff over to it. But for them, we would be able to help escort stuff in, as far as the supplies goes. So we think that would be really good. It's right by the beach. But what's everyone think about that? I mean, that knows them on Babcock, a good location. We think of anywhere better. The problem, a lot of people said, well, what about Gorham? We got a kitchen already. But that's actually one of our big reservations for parties. So, we don't really want to lose something that we currently get a lot of reservation for if we could build something else. We get a lot of requests for firewood, to ice, to just all the things people forget, lighters, charcoal, whatever. So we're hoping to have that fishing stuff, anything we can think of. And they're super energetic to come up with ideas. So
Is that like a contract? How does that work?
Well, we're still developing it. So right now it was a trial, and we, based on the outcomes and as we move forward, it's most likely, going to end like a percentage of the sales, because that's probably the only fair way. If you do a solid number, then and it rains every weekend, then
right.
So a percentage seems like a fair deal, but we have not held that down, but that seems to be likely where it would go.
And so they're staffing it completely.
Correct. So that, and as the director of parks, is the money and aspect and all of that and the extra hiring would be a lot for us. So this definitely shifts, and they're experts in this. So, I think it's a win-win for us. So we're really excited about the partnership and the services that it's going to provide to the new cabins and everything that is there. So
Is one of the services we brought up in the past, the rentals of the kayaks and canoes, is that something that they would manage too? Or would that be our park staff managing that?
we were thinking we're going to try with our park staff.
Yeah.
So, because we already kind of rent out day-use items, so it would be, and they have the money in the credit card machine. So as far as that, we were going to try to keep it with their gatehouse folks.
And we're gonna keep it at the gatehouse.
Yeah.
All the
Well,
rentals.
no, the kayaks, you mean themselves?
Well, the rental.
Oh, yeah.
Will happen at the
Process.
gatehouse. It'll
Yeah.
be separate from all.
Unless there's an issue, and then we could always take it to them, like say they're super agreeable to whatever would work for us, and really want to be a team player. So, but that's where we're at now. We actually, speaking of that, we built the kayak racks. So Ben, my park maintenance supervisor, is a carpenter, skilled carpenter, 24 years. So we kept looking at these flimsy things for more money than they should be. So I said, well, why don't we look at designing some? So he designed a double one that can go down by the water, and then flat-sided single side that we're going to attach to the buildings that we can paint the same color. It'll look like a custom storage rack right there along our building. So, taking advantage of our skilled employees to save some money and get a better product out of it. So, and they look good. They're sturdy. They did a great job. So yeah, everybody's excited about that, and it's in the fee schedule and approved for the budget for us to purchase those life jackets, everything to move forward. Insurance said we're good. We just have to get a waiver approved, which are kind of already written a basic one up. So we're looking good on that. So the cabin updating project, I know I was trying to get.
Before you move on that, I have a question regarding the tour.
Yeah.
So it just makes me think about merch sales and stuff. Does Ananda have a logo?
We do.
Right.
We've had a couple logos.
Okay.
But we go.
Yeah, because if we can sell merch, which is actually going to drive revenue, as well as be part of our advertising to get more people to know about, our park system, we're all of a sudden got people, wearing our t-shirts and drinking out of our pint glasses, whatever.
100%. Yeah, they mentioned merch as well, and if that would be something that we would be open to them.
Some-
But,
I think it'd be great. I think you get a lot of people that would be buying those.
yeah, so, excited, but lots of potential, so, yeah, no, I 100% agree, yeah. The cabin updating project, one of the previous town supervisors, family had donated 13,000, and we were trying to figure out with the group, you remember, like, what we were gonna do with this 13,000. And, we weren't able to get it spent, but, we're trying to get it transferred over, or it will be transferred over. Because we kind of landed on updating some of the lower cabins that are on it with tongue and groove cedar on the inside, because if you've been there, they're like kind of graffitied and pretty basic, so. Some people say we shouldn't cover them up, and other people are like, well, you're putting in nice new cabins, so we were thinking, well, we'll do a few, see how it goes, how what the response is to those. But it just with the transfer of funds that we haven't been able to purchase them until it's been re-cleared under the new one, so I wish I had an example to show you one of the smaller cabins, but until I can get the ability to purchase the tongue and groove cedar, we can work on it. But hopefully we can at least maybe get one so we can see how it goes. I think it'll look nice and really clean up the cabins. And a lot of people ask me why just do that? Why can't we do other bigger projects? But that's in a flood zone, and in the flood zone, we have a lot of state rules, regulations, codes that we have to go by. And you can only improve a structure by a certain percentage of the value of that in its current state. And they're not valued very, and that includes the labor of my staff and a fair wage market, so basically I can't do much to it, so to improve it as is. So if we, to really fix anything there, we would have to basically put a foundation, jack up the building, put a foundation, and now we're talking huge money. And as you know, hasn't always went through with the state owning it and, getting to put the money in and that kind of money into that. But, we're still trying to continue to work on getting that transferred over. So. Spring preparations, we started working on the trails, but the snow has been beating us up. But we've also had some unique winter challenges. The water lines have frozen down there. Our gas lines have frozen in Gorham, which we've repaired. Crouch Hall's boiler went out, which we tried to replace, but it was over budget, so we weren't able to do both Gorham and Crouch, and it is giving us trouble and freezing the pipes. So, but we are coming up with some workarounds with sound. It looks like we're going to need to do some inline water heating because of how the piping structure is to get it to the underground layer. It's not something they were familiar with, no one really knew about, but we use it in Adirondacks a lot, rocky surface, and we can't put it ideally 6 foot underground. There are alternatives that we can do. So, and they're safe alternatives, better than like heat tape, which you couldn't get on those because they're in pipes and we wouldn't be able to do it anyway. So, we're looking at that. But just so you're aware, first time Anonda's frozen in 10 years, over 10 years. And here's the thing, we have a permanent dock now, the fishing dock permanent, and then we still have a boat launch for the fishermen, but it's frozen in. So now I'm spending Don's money on a bubbler to try to protect those assets. We may have to pull the one boat launch out after the bubbler and freeze it. We're worried because I talked to Jim and they could bring backhoes down and or excavators and bust the ice, but that would probably damage the structure with the ice around it. So we'll let the bubbler do it. And there's a question of whether we need to do anything with the fixed dock or not. But we're thinking, well, if we can't free the one dock, we might pull it out and then put the bubbler over to the fixed docks just as extra protection. But in case you guys are wondering down, these are things that we didn't think we had to worry about. I mentioned the pulling the dock and they're like, it's been decades since it's frozen in, but here we are.
Will the sheriff's department help out with any of that?
Yeah, no, they put their bubblers in, both them and the fire department, but we didn't have any bubblers and we didn't have it budgeted, but luckily with us doing the work, it's not gonna be too much. I can accommodate it in the budget we need to, because just for cost of the dock, we're cost sharing with the dock for is it the sheriff's or is it it's the
Is it
fire department. And so our cost share portion to help repair their docks is 18,000, so, you know, $1,000 for a bubbler compared to, you know, it's worth us to protect our assets. Anyway, just wanted to let you know, because I figured some people, if you were down there, you're gonna wonder what we're doing, so. Program updates, so I know I mentioned, some additional work groups. We are looking to proceed with that and push that to the town board for approval. So that would be basically working groups. We don't call them subcommittees because that would be actually you guys a part of them, you know, out from the subcommittee. Where a working group under the Park and Rec committee can be other people. It doesn't have to be people from like the town like we do with others, but that's so we can take advantage of some folks that may have GIS information, mapping skills, previous knowledge of development, etc. And then the other thing we're looking and is to enhance senior recreation programs, which, you know, Karen certainly was pushing for. Our statistics show that is needed. And so we have, I think if we have a special working group of these folks that can help go out and find the resources. The reason I say that is I put the little free senior lunch over here. This is an example of if we get out and find resources can help us. That's with the Notre Dame Retreat House. So they're actually looking for people to help promote. And so they're doing a free lunching. It's with a chef. The chef's going to come in and we're going to do soups and do a presentation on soups. But they're looking to do something every month, and they were looking for people just to help get the word out. And we're looking to build programs. It's right here in the town. So you know, if we can build these relationships, we can build a senior program and cross help everybody out, and I think it'll be a good thing. So the seniors working on that. I have, her name's Audrey. She's kind of like my point of contact. But I think she's fairly new to the group, and I just kind of feel like if we had a little bit bigger group, it may be better, well received in that senior group. So hopefully that'll go through the town board for us to move forward with that for the February resolutions. So,
Going through the town board to approve having the working groups. Is
correct.
that what you mean? Okay.
Yeah, and so that'll be moving forward in the February town board meeting. And then as soon as that's approved, we're gonna start recruiting, you know, out, and there's already a lot of interest in trails specifically, you know. But whatever comes of that, we'll report to this group and then, you know, on from there, so. It's not taking any, you know, anything from this, the trails still are a part of that. So at the beginning of the year, I'd like to give you the budget review. So at the end of the year, we had a little bit of money and the group asked me, you know, we said, what should we spend it on? And we landed with, they've always wanted to get a couple of pickleball rackets, bocce ball set, some disc golf so that people could check out. Okay, so we have acquired those items with that end of year money. I have them in my office. So now the trick is we got to figure out how to get them out. You know, we close on the weekends. You know, how are we going to do that? You know,
The
come to mind.
company store handle it. They're selling cookies.
Oh, I was selling cookies. There you go. If anyone has any ideas, someone did mention that maybe we should look to talk to the Wood Library, because we do part, that is our library, and they check things out, you know, get things back, right? Books and stuff.
They
It's
have
kind of
like kids like fishing poles.
and they give
stuff,
fishing
yeah.
poles and stuff, so, and one of our main senior members, she does the Woodwalker, she's the leader for the Woodwalker group over there, so we do have some inside contacts there. And actually Brittany used to work there as well, so she actually knows everyone over there as well, so might be an option. But if anyone can think of any other options, because it's like, right, me having it or my crew may not always work the best. The same with you know, my first thought was you know, having the clerk's office do it, but you know, there's
So this is where they could say if it was at the library, they could check it out, but they could use it anywhere. It doesn't have to be at one of our parks. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, we could,
Because it would be hard to.
yeah, But we are partnering more and more with the city, you know, and looking
Yeah.
to do that. But with some things, but I think the group had said, you know, we want no charge, there wouldn't be any fee for this. But of course, you wanna make sure that it comes back, you know, and so how are we gonna control this investment that the Park and Rec Committee wanted to do? So I'm looking for ideas, but the Wood Library stood out to me as maybe a good one to do, but if anyone, you know, this group is my brainstorming group and you're laying there and you're like, I've got it, let me know. Or during this meeting, but budget, so 2026 budget, no music in the park, budget stayed the same this year, I will say. Cause Mark usually was the one that, Mark McNeil was our previous chair. And would do this, and so I'm sending it out in his stead. To get our new vendor applications, which he wasn't very excited about anyway. But the vendor applications are coming in. I will say the prices of the bands are going up. So, you know, we might have to look at maybe an increase in the future. You're not gonna have a lot of money left over. I know people were like, well, it'd be nice to be able to do some additional things, at least with the music in the park budget. Because the cheapest one we had is 500 and, you know, the most expensive 800, but they're ranging 6, 7, 800 is the norm. I have 4 applications. If you know who you want, I'll tell you the names of the bands, if you, for the folks that's been here before. Midnight Storm Band was one that submitted an application. I think they might be a new one, but they say they play a mix of classic rock, blues, and southern rock. They sent a little video that I could send out if you would like. But if there's any bands that I mentioned that you know you really want to have back that's played, Rockin' Boots Band is sent an application in. Says they've been with us many summers, and I think they do a mix of country and rock. So if we want to have them back again, we have a Feedback Band. They said that, let's see, multi-genre, family-friendly, classic rock, Motown, country, and pop. They played at Music and Art Festival before, 47 South. I think I remember them from last year, right? 47 South. And they're the ones that kept their price at the 500 range. So.
Bring them back.
Bring them back.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Yeah, so.
Greg, on those music nights, is the company store gonna be open? Are they gonna be?
They were looking at doing any of the events. That was part of the things that they were asking about. So,
Yeah.
so that they could be around. And then as far as the trucks, we bring in food trucks for this, usually 2, and then an ice cream truck is what historically has been done. The only application that was sent back, you know, there was a little bit of issues with the food, but I've got one from the food truck vendors. So if anyone wants to help me
It's
run
probably
down
Cooks,
food
right?
trucks, huh?
Is it Cooks?
Cooks.
Yeah.
And he said he'd do everything, so, which he does a great job. So we got one, but, you know, and I think even if he was there at all, it would be great, but we probably at least need to rally up a few more, right? Don't really have to do, the ice cream doesn't need the permit, so that they get to bypass this grease laden thing that we ran into last year with the permits. But the fee was lowered for that as Park and Rec Committee said that we really need to do, so hopefully that's gonna help moving forward. So basically, if you say, you know, 700 times 3, 21, you know, $100 as an average, doesn't give you a lot of extra of what you want to do, but some thoughts, and it was mentioned for the movie night as well, was like glow bracelets for the kids, or if it's dark, which that's the movie night is, but not for the music and park. But anything that you can think of, and bouncy castles are going to be a no-go because state changed with that from safety. Last year it was encouraged not to do it, and I think this year they wouldn't let us do with that. But Yeah, kid getting beat up and slammed into, well, what would you guys like to see as a part of? With the music in the park, especially with our new crew here that have young ones that might be coming because of. To this and the movie is usually kid-friendly movie historically, but we need to kind of start to think what movie would be good this year.
Well,
That's well, yeah.
That's right.
Members.
I don't know. Guess it's hard because I'm not,
Kid.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean,
It can be a homework assignment, we can think about it, talk about
the
it.
show last year, I couldn't go.
What's that? Which one was it?
Was it the Mario?
No, it was a,
Oh, wasn't it was it the dinosaur thing or the, some type of animal?
I can't remember.
Are you saying you got a couple $100 you're willing to, you need to figure out what to do with?
yeah, to build on that, you know,
What about, we're talking about merch, we give like do some giveaways, t-shirts in the audience or something like that, just to get the
It's a good idea.
especially if we create some.
logos out, I guess.
Yeah,
Does Outhouse have a logo as well?
well, just a parks logo overall, but, and then Amanda has a specific one.
And there's no alcohol in the parks.
Legally. Can't say
No,
no alcohol.
we are looking at for the 4th of July, you know, part of the special events committee, which I'll get to, about getting a state exemption for the day. Possibly, but yeah. Unfortunately, normally, right now, as the rules go, no.
You couldn't have like a beer garden. Just like
Yeah, there are a lot of, we talked to the city about, there are a lot of kind of things, it would be like a garden.
Like
kind of
a-
set up, you know, for
I want to
that.
say roped off area, but
Yeah.
a nice
Yeah,
spot. Use that.
because for the 4th of July, because we're trying to bring things from Canandaigua, so a local beer, you know, was
Tasting
brought
or
up,
something.
because it's 4th of
Yeah.
July, as instead of fight it, let's embrace it and make, you know, people can control it a little bit and maybe make $1 or $2 off of it, but not really, it's more about, you know, creating a fun atmosphere.
We could get, I mean, I'm just thinking, I know a lot of head coaches, there could be like a little competition out there in the fields. You could get like the football athletes to come do like a quick little punt pass kick.
Yeah,
You could get the lacrosse where you time or get the speed of your shot,
yeah,
come over. It pulls people out. You should have seen the dad stepping off the sideline the other day to see how fast their shot was with a lacrosse stick.
yeah.
You could get the baseball program to do something. But I'm thinking lacrosse and football is two of my best buds run the
Yeah,
program.
Football where you throw it through the.
You have a couple targets, you have
Yeah.
your longest punt, you have maybe some of the varsity athletes come manage it with
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I think that.
we got all those open spaces over there in those fields. I'm thinking you draw more kids. Would that be fun, Slum?
Of course, the playground there, you know, and the other thing that they're always looking is the fire department with their fire trucks. They were just telling me they set up little, I guess, targets, and then people can get up there on the cannon and shoot.
Yeah.
Fire from the hose.
Yeah, from the
Kids are
from
going
the
out.
fixed one, the hose is really, you know, knocking down the kids.
Our neighborhood, and during the summer, they had the kids spraying the fire hose, and they absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
Mine was one of them. They-
so the targets would be fun, right?
Targets would be fun.
But, yeah, no.
That would be,
So, and Cheshire is always listening to do stuff with us and. So, couple things to think about it, come up with what we want. Now, you'll have much more money for movie nights unless they really raise the price, but the movie was $550 or $575 last year, so that's your big one, you'll have some money to bring in something. Dave Sauter sent me a link and I should have put it in here, and it was like might have been like a rock wall kind of mobile rock wall kind of thing and the low ropes kind of stuff that was in this mobile kit. The special events committee does actually bring in the what would you call it, over at Bristol Mountain, the thing on top.
the aerial,
The
the
aerial.
adventure park.
So they have a mobile thing, and they've brought them in for the Halloween event. So you can still, any ideas from them too. We're all friends, so, but start to think about it, and since we know the budget, what you think could go, and maybe the next meeting, kind of have some ideas we'd like to throw out, and then I can call and get prices and stuff and bring it back, but because the summer will come, especially with us only meet, every other month, will come pretty quick, so. Yeah. And they didn't get to come to the last album, so I haven't seen it, but it sounded really cool. So we're still looking at the I Love My Parks Day. I did look into it. The host registration to be a part of that doesn't open until March, and the volunteers start able to register in April. And that would be Saturday, May 6th. DCB has expressed interest, but I think we should bring back I Love My Parks Days, but a free advertisement. The state's already doing it. Let's ride an easy train and get a little help in our parks. So any ideas that you would have or would like to be a part of? I think the natural fit is Outhouse Park and Ononda. Those are two primary locations to work on different things, from helping with the gardens to general cleanup to all kinds of things. But any ideas are welcome. The Special Centennial Working Group update. Actually, quite a bit since I talked to you last. Fireworks at the moment may not be at Outhouse Park like I had originally said before. We're going to be doing a combined day with the city, and we're looking at having the fireworks go back to the city if they can have a location by the water. So we're talking Kershaw Park area. We haven't exactly nailed that where that's. Well, they haven't. Honestly, they haven't nailed down exactly where that's going to go. But we're going to have our event at Outhouse still for the 4th of July. So instead of having it in the afternoon like I proposed to you guys, where it was 3 o'clock till 11 o'clock fireworks. So with the city doing the parade 10 to 11, it would make sense that the group has said that we shift that to noon to 6 time frame, and then with the fireworks being at Kershaw, and we cross promote it as Canandaigua or event. We're one of the few people that are doing fireworks in the whole area, so it's a chance to really pull people in and have a fun day. I think I had to step out of the meeting, but I think there's even talk of maybe having a little, what would you say, a trolley that could take people to the different places, because there's some concern about like, well, if I get parked down at Kershaw, I'm not coming, I'm not leaving my spot or whatever. So there, now that we're partnering with this, that there's some pretty good ideas, and I think it's exciting that we do want to, kind of partner in the greater Canandaigua area thing. But yes,
The parade,
yes.
is there going to be like the town and the city working together on that, or is that just the city?
It's the city runs it, but the town, our special events, we put a float in that. That's kind of one of their big things. But as far as organizing, and it's them. Yeah,
the coordination is really about like making it from an advertising, whatever standpoint, that instead of having an event or singular events,
Right.
It's a day to celebrate, right?
Right.
And so here's the whole day's activities. First, beginning of the day, you go to the parade. Second, you go to Outhouse. Third, you go to the fireworks. And so it really came out of some pretty lively discussion at the town board meeting a couple of weeks ago, where historically it's always been over the lake, right? And so there was some miscommunication between the town and the city as far as, well, they don't want it. Well, we will take it. Well, they can't do it over the lake. Well, maybe they can do it over the lake. So we all got together, the city and the town, the mayor, myself, both town and city managers all got together and said, okay, let's all play nicely together here. And let's, after the board basically, with input from the public, voted to let the city have it, because once again, as you guys may know, the town pays for it. We pay for it, but the city, has it, because historically, and a lot of the discussion that was had is, well, I've been going ever since I was a kid, and there's something special about being over the lake, and all those things that are very, very true. But you're kind of looking up, right? And so we're like, okay, if you're looking up, you can look up in our park since we're paying for it. So that's where we said, okay, let's combine some of the money a little bit better. So they're paying for some of the fireworks in addition to us paying for the fireworks. And let's how to make it a bigger deal where instead of, 1 + 1 being 2, 1 + 1 equaling 3 or 4. And so that's really where the whole thing. And so the ideas are still kind of coming out. We're meeting with the city on Friday to look at sites where they can, because initially they said, well, we'll shoot it off the pier. Well, because you can't do it off the platform anymore because they had insurance issues with that. Well, if you shoot it off the pier, you could set fire to boathouses, right? So the pier is out. So now we're going to be looking at sites together with the city on where they can do it. So
They did it with a barge.
so the barge is the way they used to do it, but last year somebody fell off the barge.
That's what I was about to say.
And so as a result, the fireworks people are like, not doing it. And so that's where we're kind of in this shifting a little bit from the original plan that Greg and the committee had worked to put together to say, okay, how can we maximize what we've got, right? And so it's really still in the brainstorming stage, but July will be here before we know it.
Yes, it will.
And so it's like, okay, well, parking is an issue, our trolleys is a thing, because at Chris Kindle Market, they have people shuttling back and forth on trolleys and buses and
I love
whatever,
that
so
too.
it's a matter of,
To
okay,
not
how-
have to park so many
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
places.
right,
Yeah, no, that's great.
yeah, and so it's, up for discussion now and over the course of the next couple of months on how can we collectively with the city maximize the event.
And by driving to the parks, that gets to our comprehensive plan of trying to increase 20% of participation in the park. So
Mhm.
this does directly affect this committee and us. So, it'd be nice if, if you had some ideas or maybe you want to participate, or if it did come back with the fireworks, or maybe even have, look for, might need your football team to help with parking or something, you know what I mean? Like, but, anyway, well, just wanted to give an update on that, but, the monthly events, we're still working on those, but basically we're highlighting monthly events for the 250th. It's really just building on stuff that's out there. So, for example, the Ganondigan, winter stuff, like that would be one of the things, because we're looking from a historical perspective in the local area. So, but the great thing is all of us, it's the county, us, the city, and then I always forget her name, but she's like, does like the transportation and, Marissa. Alyssa. What is she? I'm drawing a blank on.
Her last name or what she does?
Or what she does.
She works for the county, it's like as far as promoting all kinds of stuff. I don't know her titles.
So to help with that, so this team, is pretty exciting that we're gonna cross promote. And it's kind of what he said, 1 + 1 + 1 = 10 or something, we're trying to do that thing, so where we help each other out. Because no one really has the extra funds to do it, and it would be hard to do individually, but together, everybody taking apart, we can pull together a nice little event. So it's really well received, and actually people will keep wanting to join the group, so. That's mine, probably took more time than I was normally allotted, but any questions on?
Can I add one thing
Yes.
going back? So as far as you mentioned advertising before, and we've got some great activities that are already here. So one of the things that Greg and I have been talking about with Sue Cerencione, who works for the town doing all of our outreach. So we have 2 billboards. Most people know that we have 2 billboards that we don't always use to our fullest advantage. A lot of times it just says, welcome to Canandaigua on it, which is great to some degree, but we have activities that we can promote. And so I would suggest thinking about the ones that we want to promote, because I said to Sue, let's plan the year out. So as opposed to saying, oh, what are we going to put on the billboards this month? This group can say, especially because this group has fun stuff going on, right? Not every group has fun stuff going on, and say, okay, let's make sure that we have, for July, those billboards, 2 beautiful electronic billboards are advertising our events. Because once again, getting our attendance up, that drives more revenue to the company store, which drives more money back to where we can do more stuff. So just be thinking about it. And if there's any graphics artists within the group that were willing to step up and say, okay, I'll put together what that thing could look like. we have that at our disposal, right, to promote the, to a greater degree. I know some we've done already, but we can really step that up.
There was a lot going on this year, so we have done the music in the park and the movie night on those already. But, helping with as a part of this 250th monthly thing as well. So unless there's something else that we need to promote more, but otherwise we'll shift to really utilizing the signs and getting information out, so. All right, so before I get into vacancies and chair, but I want to go ahead and offer to the group other discussions. Anything you'd like to bring up? Thoughts? Anything from me and or Don, since we have Don, kind of a special guest today.
You mentioned we have an Ononda logo. It'd be cool to look at those,
Okay.
get those, maybe even some old, like the original, whatever logo there might have been. They might be a little politically incorrect because I don't know what's on it. But that'd be pretty cool to get that logo going at these events.
There was talk to update one of the previous park full-time park employees. She was very artistic, and this was one of the things she was wanting to do, is if we had a store to design a different logo or maybe a couple logos and promote that. And I presented to the group before, we're working on a patch program. I think that at some point, does that sound familiar? That when people go visit our parks, that at the end of it, they can get a patch of participation. And I originally, I thought that would be done like with a paper and kind of booklet kind of thing. But and more talking partnering with the ECB, we're probably going to look at doing online, because that way, as things change or things updated, we're not wasting paper and ink, and everybody pretty much has a tablet now. So we think that's a great idea to do it that way, and then we can link it to the website. I'm working with Ken, who helps with some of the electronic signs for us as well on that. So she does a newsletter and advertising, and she's a great resource. But on to the last thing, try to keep close to time here. So as we know, we have the vacancies, as we have our wonderful people here today, but also we need to fill the chair role. We didn't do it last time because the group asked for us to kind of hold off and to do that. Since then, I know a couple people had some suggestions. I've talked with Stephanie, and I know that she's had some questions there, and some may be interested there, but I think she would do a great job. I want to take it to the group here and say, you have nominations, or has anyone else thought from the last time that they would be interested? Or
I've talked, I cannot do it.
I know.
I've been given strict rules. The other side.
You know what I thought about you about this though? I said, because she'd be out sometime. Maybe we could have a vice one when she's out. Good, get you a little bit moving out.
Yeah, I see what you're doing. I see what's going on here. This is how I've been talked into everything in my life.
So, but yeah, Stephanie, I was asked some questions. She sat down with me. We talked over some stuff, and so nominations.
Stephanie.
Stephanie wants to do it, I'd say that would be great.
I know that would be fantastic. Because we're just.
I mean, what if one of her?
She said she'll do it.
It seems like we have some highly qualified new candidates, and I don't see anything in chapter 152 that says
They can't jump right
that
into
they
the chair.
can jump right in and write a agenda 3 days prior to the meeting, just like you did today, so perfect. Just saying. And Brittany's not, was it Brittany?
Yes.
I mean, she seems like she's got her ducks in a row when it comes to organization and past experiences. I just know how to make a good sledding.
Yeah.
Sledding's fun.
You volunteered everyone but you. Okay.
But Stephanie,
Stephanie, yeah, all right. So second, I heard first, second, everybody, all in favor? Third. All right. All right.
Thank you, Steph.
So Stephanie, I'll be taking that, I'll be sending that to the town board in the February meeting, and then. So the folks that are here were the ones that we interviewed and we would like to bring to you for consideration for the February board as well, and
Brittany.
yeah, Brittany online. Everyone that showed up and talked to you today. So if you're probably wondering as far as timeline, they're probably wondering. I was trying to figure it out because we really have the 7 year it's up for 7 years. We only have one full 7 year vacancy, and that's Mark who just left. So I recommended for Brittany to go into that. I put Melissa for Karen Parkhurst's role. Now she had until 2026, so it would be 1 year, and then after that, hopefully she'll want to stay with us, and then it would just roll into the 7 year term. I put Josh with Randy's position. Randy, he had 2019 and then renewed in 2022, so technically his is to 2028. So these are all 12/31 dates, so to 2028, so I'd give you a couple years. And then, be able to renew from there. And then Sloan until she reaches 19. So she's 15 now, as she told us, but you have to be 14 and you age out at 9. So is everyone?
Age out at.
No, they're here. You should talk to them or not, but I mean, if everybody's in favor.
Aye.
Great.
Awesome.
Great, awesome. So this is the first time in a long time we've had a full park and rec committee, including with the youth. So it's very exciting and with a lot of moving parts and a lot of things to come. So this group is going to get a lot brought to it and really be able to use this. So this is good time, perfect timing with this. So any questions for me, concerns? So we'd like to adjourn this meeting, and the next meeting will be March 25th, unless something changes or we need to change the venue. We'll be right here at 6 p.m. Town Hall. All in favor for adjournment? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Awesome job.
Thank you.
Next time, definitely we'll be doing that part. Thank you, Stephanie.
My assistant.
It was nice meeting everyone.
You too.
Have a good night.
Lord.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you very much.
Greg.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
So you live with 5-year-old daughter?
Did you get all that?
But yeah, I think so. That's what, and then your slides always help so much, because I'm like, okay, hold on, let me just, so I'll get this up and then I'll send it.
Yeah.
She's got a, if she sent it to you. I'll send it to both of you. I'll send it to both of you.
I'll
Okay.
help out a little bit.
Okay.
I'll be.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah, I just type away, so,
Absolutely. My pleasure. Nice to meet everybody. Nice meeting you too.
okay, cool.
Awesome.
I'll get
Thanks
this
for
to
stepping
you.
forward. That's great.
Um,
Meet you as well.
I heard good things from Terry.
Well, if it comes to Terry, it'll be true.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they're great. I'm glad we can.